Glad to see you again watching our channel. Today we have cool casual platformer from Steam, Kao The Kangaroo. A really exciting title. And before we dive deep into game's world, let me check if you're subscribed already to our channel. If yes, let's start the review. Kao The Kangaroo sees you assume the role of titular raw cow, a fighting kangaroo, as he sets out on an adventure in the hopes of finding his missing sister and father. To find his family, Kao journeys throughout various worlds in search of the eternal warrior, defeating those who get in his way, such as powerful fighting masters who have been corrupted by the power of the Dark Crystal that have appeared throughout the world. In terms of video game stories, the Kao the Kangaroo is as generic as they come. To be fair, you probably shouldn't expect gripping, edge of your seat storytelling from a game about a talking kangaroo and his essential boxing gloves, but it would have been nicer for more effort to have gone into the narrative and voice work, which is honestly some of the worst voice acting I've heard in a game in recent memory. The lackluster dialogue doesn't give the voice actors much of a break either, with cringe-worthy references to memes such as the arrow to the knee meme from Skyrim, which was a funny meme back in 2011 but is no longer funny or relevant a decade on. To its credit though, some references managed to make me chuckle, but it was definitely more hit than miss. Overall though, it's disappointing that Kao the Kangaroo's shoddy narrative and voice acting let the game down, especially when everything else is handled quite well. Kao's packing some solid moves, and the new developer Tate has given us plenty to do with them by providing us with decent enemy variety. There are the usual grunts taking swipes at you from up close, but things like ghosts firing sheep at you with a launcher keep things interesting. Every world ends with a boss fight, and each provides some new tricks. I wouldn't spoil them all. Still, Hopalo Island boss Terror leaves a trail of fire behind him after attacking, while Hungry Jungle's Jayabaya lobs projectiles from afar that Kao can punch straight back. Of course, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's enough to avoid predictability. Between climbing across vines using his ears, grappling across floating hooks, and making temporary platforms once you've struck a purple crystal, levels carefully and effectively avoid repetition. There's even the odd bit of puzzle solving too, including one challenge where Kao must link the lines together on a crystal to make it all, clearing your path upon completion. Another level had me running away from an enemy rolling towards Kao on a giant log, taking clear inspiration from Crash Bandicoot's Boulder Dash level. Again, this still isn't anything entirely original, but the remixes of traditional ideas are compelling enough that they never bothered me during my playthrough. You'll find no end to hidden secrets, so I recommend thorough exploration. Levels hide many collectibles, including extra lives, heart pieces, treasure chests packed with coins and diamonds. Cash can buy new costumes from each hub world's shop, including a retro look for Kao, which will please original fans. And every level has 3 letters spelling Kao, which can be tricky to find. So some enemies also drop scrolls that unlock new lore for Kaopedia. Platforming-wise, Kao the Kangaroo is again impressive, with Kao feeling comfortably controlled. He's got the expected platforming staples such as a double jump, ground pounding with the Crash Bandicoot-esque spin attack for good measure, and also isn't afraid to beat down with his boxing gloves, with combat essentially being a simplistic button mashing beat 'em up. Punching your foes will quickly build up a mastery that when full allows you to unleash a satisfying slow-mo slam. Combat is a mindless affair for the most part except for in boss battles, where you need to do a little more to hurt your foes, but it still feels fine enough given that it isn't a constant occurrence. Kao's fancy gloves aren't just for beating down on enemies however, as they are also often needed to complete puzzles throughout the levels. As you progress through the game, you will be progressively introduced to elements that Kao can use to charge his gloves. Fire, for example, can be used to melt, whereas ice power can be used to free things such as waterfalls, which then allow allow you to climb them. Various elements are often needed to solve a single puzzle, meaning you will need to be aware of what elemental abilities you currently have. It's a cool idea that makes the puzzles more interesting than they otherwise would have been, but they ultimately aren't varied enough, with only 3 elemental abilities available. They also have no bearing on combat, which seems like a huge missed opportunity to add depth to what is largely just a button mashing bonanza. Kao the Kangaroo may not be willing to revolutionize the 3D platformer genre, but its solid gameplay and colorful cartoon world brimming with collectibles largely make up for the lack of originality. Overall, if you love platformers, you will enjoy Kao. So for the fans of genre, it will be really good pickup. Thanks to everyone for watching. Share your thoughts on the game in the comments.